And good evening. Thanks for joining us on this historic night in Metro Atlanta. Rick Folbaum along with Tracy Hutchins and the entire Atlanta News First team covering what we anticipate to be indictments of former President Donald Trump and perhaps some of his allies related to alleged interference with the 2020 election here in Georgia. We're glad you're with us. And if you're just joining us now, we are waiting to hear any moment now from Fulton County DA Fani Willis, whose office has been conducting this investigation essentially since the very first days after she assumed her position as district attorney. And you can see the room now where we're going to be hearing from DA Willis any moment now. They're getting the microphones all set up so that she can come out and address reporters and the people of Georgia and Fulton County and the entire country and let them know exactly what the grand jury has decided. We've been reporting on the possibility of 10 indictments being handed up, but exactly who is named in those indictments and what these charges are, we just don't know that yet.
All right, we do have a number of crews covering this. We do want to go to Atlanta News First, Tori Cooper, who's outside the Fulton County courthouse for us. And Tori, you've really been out there. You were able to speak to that Atlanta journalist and activist, George Chidi. He was one of the ones expected to testify in front of the grand jury, but did not get a chance to. He said they had pretty much heard all they needed to hear.
That's right, Tracy. His testimony was not needed today. George Chidi got here at 4 p.m. He walked into the courthouse and then he walked out and then was greeted by a swarm of journalists, including myself. I ran over there as fast as possible, and that's when we were able to address him. And the very first question that I asked him was, "Look, you tweeted a few minutes ago saying you weren't needed, and talk about why that happened." And he said, "Look, I saw something on December 14th, 2020 at the Georgia Capitol. I wanted to see the vote sealed, and I knew that the Republican Party wanted to provide additional electors, but I knew something may go down that day. So I was outside of the courtroom and I saw a Republican elector and followed him, and then he was shoved out of the room. He asked why, and he said he was told that it was an educational meeting that was taking place. And now we are learning more about what took place that day. He did share that testimony before the special grand jury that was set a couple of months ago, and then he was not required to share that again today. But we are now learning that former President Donald Trump was indicted tonight. We were able to report that news to you according to CNN. We did get that. I have my producers in my ear right now, and we are able to share that right now on Atlanta News First. Of the 10 indictments that were handed up, the former president was named in that, and we are going to get a look at the counts that he will be facing, the charges that he will be facing in this indictment. And this is something that has had the eyes of the entire country right now. And I've seen other people that were called to testify today, and we heard from former Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan, who did share that this was going to be a pivotal moment, that we were going to hear a lot and we were going to have to heal from a lot. So now we have our reporters inside and they are just waiting to hear from DA Fani Willis. So we are going to be standing by to hear from her and officially see what's next in this investigation.
All right, Tori, thanks very much. The information is just beginning to trickle in about exactly who is named in these indictments, and we can report, along with former President Trump, there are 18 others whose names are included in these indictments. We don't know exactly who those people are, but of course we're going to be learning that once that indictment is unsealed and made public any minute now.
And no doubt that DA Fani Willis is the one who wants to make all that information public. We are just getting bits and pieces of information, but no doubt when she comes to the podium, she will give in full detail, lay out some of the details of this case and also talk about those involved in it.